Moored in the waters of Point Richmond, the SS Red Oak Victory is a powerful remembrance of American resilience and industrial might. Built in just 87 days at the height of World War II, she now stands as the last surviving vessel of the 747 ships produced at the Richmond Kaiser Shipyards. Preserved by the Richmond Museum Association, the Red Oak Victory offers a rare opportunity to step directly into history. Originally launched on November 9, 1944 by the Permanente Metals Corporation at Shipyard No. 1, this Boulder Victory-class cargo ship was named after Red Oak, Iowa, a town that suffered disproportionate casualties in the early days of the war. Though hundreds of Victory ships were built, only a handful were transferred to the U.S. Navy. The Red Oak Victory was one of them. She served with distinction in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. From her departure from San Francisco Bay to Pearl Harbor on January 10, 1945, to her missions delivering munitions in the Pacific, the Red Oak Victory operated tirelessly and without a single casualty, an extraordinary feat for a ship loaded with ammunition during wartime. The SS Red Oak Victory was decommissioned shortly after World War II in 1946 and returned to the U.S. Maritime Commission. However, her service didn't end there. From the late 1940s through the 1950s, the ship was operated by the Luckenbach Steamship Company, traveling across the globe to ports in Japan, Korea, Cuba, Pakistan, India, and Singapore. In the 1960s, she was brought back into service by American Mail Lines for the Military Sea Transport Service, making over a dozen voyages to Vietnam, Japan, and the Philippines, transporting military supplies during the Vietnam War. After 1968, she was placed in the National Defense Reserve Fleet in Suisun Bay, where she remained for 30 years before being saved from scrapping by the Richmond Museum Association. We visited the ship on a Sunday morning during the Western Swing Pancake Breakfast, one of the monthly community events hosted on board. The atmosphere was festive and welcoming with a toe-tapping cowboy meets mid-century theme that added some vintage charm to the morning. Breakfast was generous. There's pancakes, bacon, sausage links, and scrambled eggs, with coffee and orange juice included. Mimosas were available for an extra charge, though we opted to stick with the basics. Guests had the choice to dine out on the deck in the fresh bay air, or tuck into tables below the deck to escape the wind. Even with the chill, most people chose to sit outside, surrounded by views of the bay and the shipyard where this very vessel was built more than 80 years ago. After breakfast, we wandered the ship. The self-guided tour lets you explore most areas, from the bridge deck and the gun platform to the galley, wheelhouse, and original shipboard library. Every corner reveals something: signs of life at sea, photos of wartime missions, equipment preserved in pristine condition. There's something deeply humbling about climbing narrow ladders, ducking through metal doorways, and walking the very decks where sailors once stood under threat of attack, knowing the Red Oak carried volatile cargo through dangerous waters. The engine room tour was the real highlight. Though it costs a bit extra and requires you to climb steep staircases, it's absolutely worth it if you're physically able. It's powered by a 2-stage Westinghouse steam turbine connected to massive reduction gears and a single propeller shaft. It remains one of the most complete and immaculate examples of maritime engineering from the era. Steam was generated by 2 Babcock and Wilcox boilers and pushed this 455-foot ship across oceans at speed of up to 17 knots or around 19 miles per hour. I was struck by the raw power and complexity of mid-century maritime technology. It's one of the most complete and well-maintained engine rooms of any Victory ship, offering a rare up-close glimpse at the machinery that helped win the war. A couple of cool things that we learned was that people working in the hot engine room would have salt tablets since they were sweating so much. It was kind of like their version of Gatorade. We also saw the ship's sound-powered telephones, which allowed crew members to communicate with other parts of the vessel without the need for external power or wiring. By speaking in a loud, clear voice, the system activated and transmitted messages entirely through the sound of the user's voice. The ship's engines were reawakened in 2018 for the first time in 50 years during a testing session in Vallejo, proof of both the original craftsmanship and the passion of the volunteers whose goal is to set sail occasionally within the San Francisco Bay. But what truly gives the ship's Bay Area presence are the people who built her, and those who keep her alive today. During World War II, Richmond, California's population ballooned as workers poured in from across the country to work in Kaiser Shipyards. During World War II, Henry J. Kaiser Shipyards revolutionized shipbuilding, applying assembly line techniques, which dramatically increased the production speed and opened new job opportunities. These innovations helped reduce construction time from months to mere weeks. Rosie the Riveter emerged from this era as an enduring symbol of American women's contributions to the war effort. Though often represented by a single iconic figure, Rosie stood for the millions of women who took on jobs in shipyards, factories, and munitions plants, many of whom had previously been excluded from such work. The Red Oak Victory is living proof of their legacy and is honored today not just by the ship itself, but by the Rosie the Riveter World War II Homefront National Historical Park, located near where the Red Oak is docked. The Red Oak Victory stands as a remarkable example of how innovation, workforce mobilization, and community effort came together to meet the demands of a global conflict. Inside the ship, you'll find a small gift shop, a theater, and tiki bar where movie nights are hosted monthly, and rooms staged with exhibits about the shipbuilders, sailors, and global journeys that define the Red Oak's life. In the museum area, you will find exhibits that provide context and human stories behind the machinery. If you're lucky, you might meet someone who served aboard a merchant marine vessel and can tell you what it was like to sail on a ship like the Red Oak. Though primarily a cargo vessel, the SS Red Oak Victory was heavily armed for self-defense, reflecting the dangers of wartime transport missions. These weapons were operated by U.S. Navy Armed Guard personnel who accompanied merchant ships to defend against enemy submarines and aircraft. While the Red Oak Victory's primary role was to carry ammunition and supplies, her armament ensured that she could protect herself and others in convoy, especially during hazardous journeys through the Pacific. The ship itself is an adventure. It's not ADA accessible, and visitors must climb a steep gangway just aboard. Inside, the narrow passageways and tight quarters make you feel like you're walking through a functional machine rather than a museum. If you're claustrophobic or have mobility concerns, a self-guided topside tour may be the better option. For those of you who don't mind ladders and ducking through bulkheads, however, the engine room and full tour is an unforgettable deep dive into naval history. The interior is remarkably well kept. You can step inside modest rooms where there were bunk beds, sinks, lockers, and lights to read at night. It's an incredible way to visualize what life must have been like then. The SS Red Oak Victory is open most Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Admission includes a self-guided audio tour, and guided engine rooms can be added for an additional fee. Movie nights don't require reservations, and snacks are available. It's best to check their website before you visit, as special events like holiday brunches or history-themed celebrations are often added to the calendar. In a world moving ever faster toward the digital and the disposable, the Red Oak Victory offers something increasingly rare: the chance to slow down, climb into history, and connect with people and machines that helped shape the modern world. It's a floating reminder of what people can do when they come together for a common cause, and how important it is to keep those stories alive. So whether you're a World War II history buff or just someone looking for a unique Bay Area weekend experience, the Red Oak Victory is a must-see. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to me at The Hungry Curator, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care!